Hey guys, Brian Cusco here at Triple B. It's time for Pomona Reptile Super Show Day 2. You're watching Triple B TV. Now before we get into the show, I want to talk to you guys about something. I want to ask you guys something. I want to know something. In the last year or so of videos, I think we've had a grand total of like 10 dislikes. And I've been checking out other channels more recently. I've only subscribed to a handful of channels that I actually watch, but I've been looking a little more into YouTube in general, just looking at what's going on out there. And one thing I noticed that's a common theme with a lot of big channels is they get a lot of dislikes. I haven't got that many. I'm thinking maybe if I get more dislikes, the channel will become even more successful. That's a ridiculous thought, but it's just a social experiment. That's all it is. If you really like this video, give it a thumbs down. I know you might want to click the thumbs up because that's what you want to do when you like a video, but this case, put the thumb down. If you really like this video, give it a thumbs down. If you don't like this video, well, that might be a win-win situation for me. But either way, I just want to check it out and see what happens. I'm going to sit there and look at this video, and every time I get a thumbs down, I'm gonna know that it was a success. Thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down. Every time I see a thumbs up, I'm gonna consider this video to be a complete and utter failure. Ridiculous, right? Is what it is. Reptile Super Show. Let's go. Look who I ran into. We got Anthony here from Granddaddy Herbs.
What's up, everybody?
I'm sure a lot of you know his channel, but if you don't, if you're watching this, check out Granddaddy Herbs. Anthony was the first person to welcome me into YouTube when I first started making videos, and he supported me from day one.
I think you had like your bamboo ball python or something, and I saw it, and then the editing right away, I was like,
bamboo female.
oh man, this guy's got camera work. And then boom, just from there, man.
It's always good to see you, man.
Oh, heck yeah.
I just love coming out here and just like the community, you know?
Oh yeah, checking out all the awesome reptiles that you don't get to see on a daily basis. Saw some highway stuff that I'm like, I've never seen before. So it's always great, man.
It's a good vibe.
Yeah. You having fun over here?
Absolutely, dude.
Day 2 for you, right?
Day 2,
yeah.
Day 2.
Ran into Riley over at his booth. So, you know, go check him out. Of course, check me out. Do ball pythons, garter snakes. I have a bearded dragon on the side. So yeah. Cool.
We're here with Kendall Bernardin from Shar. They're a rescue group here in Southern California, and she's going to tell us a little bit about exactly what they do.
So we are a rescue and rehab organization. We're a registered nonprofit. We rescue animals like him, who was given to us about a year ago. He is now an educational animal and he belongs to the club. A lot of animals that we rescue do end up getting adopted and rehomed, especially at events like the Reptile Super Show.
Do you guys do educational shows?
Yes, we do educational events. We actually do a lot of pediatric cancer events. We do school events. A lot of our animals are actually, we don't bring them out in public unless they are safe and friendly and used to being handled and safe around kids.
Do you guys get calls from people that have animals that are like, say, a rattlesnake on the property? Do you guys?
Yeah, so we don't do venomous snakes. If we get any calls like that, we actually refer them out to people who are prepared and have the permits to handle that. We primarily will do pets. We do have a website, and people can contact us on the website, Facebook, and we actually have a sheet that people can fill out with giving us information about their animals, things like that. And we try to arrange pickups as close as possible to where people live. Sometimes, I mean, we're based out of Fullerton, so we can't always drive to the valley and things like that. So we try to arrange either meetings at the events that we're doing, shows, or like I said, we'll try and meet people where they're at.
Very cool. Well, I think there's a lot of people out there that appreciate what you guys are doing.
Yeah, we've managed to rehome a lot of them. It's very rewarding. And all of our animals that do get adopted, actually we have people sign paperwork saying that if they ever do need to rehome them again, that they are given back to us so that we can try and find good homes for them.
Awesome. Well, Kendall, I appreciate your time and taking a second to talk to me.
Thank you very much.
Hi guys, we're here with Robert Bruce, and he has some absolutely amazing beautiful eastern indigo snakes, and he knows a lot about them, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what he knows.
These animals don't like super high temperatures. There are two primary concerns I tell people regarding eastern indigos. One is that they become uncomfortable above 85 degrees, and it becomes life-threatening for them up in the 90s. The other issue is water. And they drink every day, and they have to have a continuous source of water in their cage. They eat about once a week. They cannot unhinge their jaws like many snakes can.
They don't have that bone, that ear bone that formed in to make it very elastic, really?
Right,
So it's
right.
more of like a standard, kind of like our jaw, more?
Right. So they can only eat prey objects that are about the size of their body. So in this guy here eats a medium rat once a week. This is a 10-year-old male eastern indigo snake. He's my common show snake, and he's about 7 feet long. Eastern indigos are the friendliest and the most intelligent of all snakes, in my opinion. Largest snake in North America.
Really?
And they live 18 to 20 years, typically, in captivity, probably less in the wild. They're native primarily to Florida and to a lesser extent in Georgia right now. It's a threatened species, so they're protected by the Endangered Species Act, and you can't interact with them in the wild. All the animals you'll see at shows or in possession of individuals are captive bred and captive raised.
Now there are a couple different phases you were talking about, right? There's one with the black throat phase, which you're saying is
Right.
most likely recessive, and then the ruby, or
Right.
kind of
These
light
are just
throat.
color phases of the same species. This one here is a red throat form, and so under his throat is some red pigment, and on the sides of his face.
It's almost like he's listening to you. You're talking about a story. He's like, yeah, here it is, right here. That's amazing.
And then there's an all-black form where the sides of his face and under his throat are dark and don't have the red pigment.
Wow, it sure is a beautiful snake. Wow.
Their pigment is actually a very dark blue, and that's where their name comes from. It appears black.
But it's almost like it's just really deep purple indigo.
It appears black in most light, but it's actually a very dark blue. And their scales are iridescent.
I mean, I know I keep saying this, but it's literally, I think, the most beautiful snake I've seen here.
Well, thank you. Since they're protected by the Endangered Species Act, and they can't be collected from the wild, in addition, permits are required to purchase them across state lines within the United States. And they can't, in general, they can't be shipped outside of the United States at all.
Lucky for me, I live in California.
Right. If you know a breeder of eastern indigos within your state, then that's the ideal circumstance because a permit isn't required in order to purchase them.
I can feel his intelligence. He's definitely, the way he's moving around, the way he's checking things out, he's definitely an intelligent animal.
They're very aggressive at feeding, and I suggest people purchase baby eastern indigo to start with because that way they get an idea of the body language of the snake. If you feed them in their own cage, then they'll think when you open the cage, the first thing they'll think is food. And you don't want to have your fingers or your face near the cage opening when you open their cage. They're all mouth when it comes to feeding time. But they love people and they love to be handled. This is the one snake species that actually bonds to their owner like a dog or a cat.
You hear that, guys? You want a snake that loves you like your dog does? Eastern indigo is where it's at. Robert, I really appreciate your time.
Nice to meet you, Brian.
Yeah, you too. So what did you guys think about that? That was pretty sweet, right? Man, that Eastern indigo snake, ooh, that's gonna be in my future at some point. I just know it. Well, I have no idea what's going on next week. Actually, I do know what's going on next week. I've had an overwhelming amount of requests to tell how I name my snakes, how I come up with the names. So I know we just did an update on all the snakes, but we're gonna go through every single snake. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I, or how somebody else, came up with the name. Thanks for watching, guys. Y'all take care.